period to welcome you to this very important two-day forum on Women Economic Empowerment Program for State Ministries of Women Affairs, organized by the National Institute of Policy and Strategic Studies in collaboration with our good friends, NIPSS. Since 2021, the National Institute, in collaboration with the dRPC, under the Partnership for Advancing Women Economic Development project, have been providing support to the development and implementation of the women economic empowerment policies in Nigeria.
The dRPC and NIPSS together have collaborated on about 12 researches. We have held about 17 high-level convenings on issues concerning women and girls. We have convened 5 policy dialogues with civil society organizations and government officials. And from our records, we have determined that we have trained 228 senior civil servants, both in Nigeria and abroad, on issues concerning women and girls. The meeting will build upon the achievement of initiating the national M&E framework focusing on women's economic empowerment.
Nigeria is recorded as the first African country to launch a women economic empowerment policy. The policy is very comprehensive and speaks to all facets of women economic empowerment.
We need to ensure gender competencies of our stakeholders, and this will ensure the conscientization of the mental attitude of men and women, so that advertently or inadvertently they will begin to integrate gender perspectives without any prompting.
And I would like to express my deepest gratitude to the National Institute for Policy and Strategic Studies and the dRPC for organizing such an important event, and for their relentless efforts in supporting development and implementation of women economic empowerment policies in Nigeria through the Partnership for Advancing Women Economic Development project. I am particularly delighted that this forum came to kick off, aims to kickstart the process of domesticating the WE policy document in Kano, Kaduna, Lagos, and Akwa Ibom. By bringing together key stakeholders from these states, we can collectively work towards creating an enabling environment for the women to thrive in the economic pursuit.
Policymakers must make a policy that are gender friendly. And they are not just gender friendly, they are targeted at the women. Budgeting must also, certain line items has to be created for the women if we must achieve inclusion.
A whole lot is already happening. We've changed the narratives. The women generally have frequently changed the narratives for themselves. They've been well tutored and lectured, and they've started believing in themselves. We've been so maltreated that we've lost our self-confidence. We lost our voices. Very few women had a voice before now.
NIPSS and dRPC firmly believe that National WE policy document has the ability to completely transform women's economic status and allow their active participation in policy process and all productive sectors of our country.
The policy framework is structured along 5 core sectoral pillars. As you can see at the diagram, you have women in agric, women in entrepreneurship, women in traditional labor markets, women in emerging industries, women's education and skill acquisition.
Any economic empowerment of women, they said, must integrate the issue of formal reading and writing. They want literacy. When economic opportunities come to the government, through government or through, they are often left behind. So they have to address the men,
give men the opportunities before thinking of the women. So what do they want? They want women-targeted project. If you are not bringing things for women only, they said forget it, don't think we'll get it. In our community, we will not get it. They also want the integration of literacy into we. Any way you're bringing, add literacy on it.
So what's the impetus for the we policy implementation? It's really about marshalling, harnessing our national human assets for transformative change. So it is important to have an idea of the existing policy framework. Why do we need to have that idea? Because we need to see the ways in which our we policy has linkages with other policies.
dRPC can export us through advocacy. We met with MDAs and we took some resolve towards our cooperative, towards the thrift, to caution the shock of disappointment that the women got at that time.
So my advice is, if each of us here will go back to our villages and encourage these women to form cooperatives and be contributing no matter how small they have, and be doing things together, like farming, those that are farming, or those that are doing petty businesses. So after the businesses, they have a little to drop. In weekly, they do that as a cooperative.
So how do women become advocates of policies? We want representation, not just those in the political space, in our professional space, in our community space. How do we become the voice of women without apologies?
When we are thinking about this policy, we should think about really what is happening to women in our state, in our local government area, and down the grassroots, so that whatever we are doing will be evidence-based.
I'd like to most sincerely thank dRPC for partnering with us to push for the domestication of the we policy.
Thank you so much for bringing us on. Remember that we will not go back the same way before. And we give you a award as Commissioner for Women Affairs that we will cascade it down and we will implement what we gather from here.